town. We gotta count bells up and we gotta ring around. It's going down, down, down. Yeah, you know it's going down, down, down. I do this for my city, I do this for my town. We gotta count bells up and we gotta ring around. It's going down, down, down. Yeah, you know it's going down, down, down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Maroon Maniacs. We took a week off for a bye week, take care of some business, but we are now back and ready to hit the mic running. I am one half of the show, Jay Stubbs, and we have Derek Thomas over here on the other side.
What's going on, Bulldog fans? I know it's been a restful week because we didn't have a game this past week. Trying to lick our wounds from that Auburn loss and get ready to hit the road to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. So we're back. Not from outer space, though. Stubbs, man, I know you've been getting ready to move it into your house, man. So, you've been kind of letting us know what's been going on with you. So how's everything going with the move, man? Because, a couple years ago, I was recovering from the flood and doing a move of my own, so I definitely understand what that's like trying to get a house together. And it just made me think of my own journey. I have to thank all of the Bulldogs on Gene's page, and I guess I talked about this story before. Steve Robinson organized the Gene's page fam to look out for me during that flood. And Jim Mellon gave me rooms of furniture and plates and silverware and all kinds of appliances that I still use to this day. Gave me my very first milkshake maker. So thank you, Mr. Jim.
Still an awesome story, man.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to tell it to the day I die. That just lets you know Bulldog fans come through for Bulldog fans, even if you didn't go to Mississippi State. So how's your move going, man?
Man, this has been crazy. Like, so we've been 3 weeks in of doing the remodel. I've got a basically done it. Got new everything in here. Got a whole new paint jobs, all this other stuff. Man, we literally got the studio set up tonight. The final touches were put on about an hour ago so we could actually do this show. So I've had a lot of help. We had like 10 movers. I've had people in here, 3 different construction crews in here building stuff, painting stuff. This is my first house buy. Like, I've lived a lot of places that I've rented, but I finally decided, hey, it's time to buy. So took care of business, and I'm enjoying it. Being a first-time home buyer, but man, it's stressful. A lot of late nights, a lot of budget crunching, thousands of dollars already spent, and thousands of dollars still to go for that date. But hey, it's what we do with our money, I guess, investment. So other than that, like you said, licking our wounds. I'm licking the wounds from my bank account, and I can lick on this last Auburn game. It's a good thing we didn't have a show last week because I was upset. And I wasn't really upset at the game. I was more upset at the fans. But I guess they actually thought we were going to win this game. Like, they literally consider this like one of the worst losses in the Mississippi State's history.
Well, and we have to talk about this because, even though it was a bye week, like I said, Stubbs, we didn't get a chance to have a show last week. I was having life trouble. Stubbs was having problems. But, hey, we back. And we might as well say we were like our Bulldogs were against Auburn because, Auburn just thoroughly whipped our asses on the field. I'm talking about whipped us up and down the field, knocked out Tommy Stevens again. Gary Schroeder came in and tried to help save the day, but we were down, 21-0 before Schroeder got in the game.
It was just like 2014 when we jumped on Auburn 21-0, like so quick in the first couple minutes. It was just like payback from running all over them. But it's like we forgot. It was so bad that our mascot got beat up.
Oh, man, yeah. Poe Bully on that touchdown run. The guy I guess, got tackled or pushed, and Bully took his shot just like the Bulldog took his shot, but he was still standing. Took off the field for a while, and Jack was okay. And of course, we heard from the people who don't like you to have animals doing things, Peter. You know what I'm saying? And hey, Jack ain't going nowhere. So, but of course, we got our butts thoroughly thrashed by Auburn. And it was like, wow, like we just got thoroughly whipped, destroyed, ass whipped, butt kicked. Just it was a thrashing. And after the game was over, said and done, Rutgers fired their coach, and internet rumors were being made that Joe Moorhead was being considered for the Rutgers job. And we don't know, he denied wanting the job. But for shits and giggles, we're going to say, what if Joe Moorhead did take the Rutgers job at the end of the season? Or what if Rutgers just waited until the end of the season, hired Joe Moorhead away? Who would we hire? Just think about it. Who's on the hot seat? Who's available? Who would we want to be the next Bulldogs head coach? Stubbs?
Well, everybody wants to go out there and say, Nick Saban, we want Nick Saban. Urban Meyer's out there, but people have to be realistic on this. Like, we are Mississippi State. No offense. Like, I got my degree from there, and I know we want to win. We've had this new culture of winning, and we're on the rise, but people have to get real on this to realize that we just do not have the funds to go out there and pay $7 million for a Jimbo Fisher or anything like that, or Jim Harbaugh. I mean, you look at the people. You realize that if we didn't get Jomo, the other rumor going into that rumor was Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee.
Who?
Look how that has worked out.
Oh, Jeremy Pruitt. Oh, yeah. And we're getting ready to hopefully whoop his butt Saturday. That was, which Jeremy Pruitt? The non-football coach Jeremy Pruitt or the football coach Jeremy Pruitt? Where the football coach Jeremy Pruitt isn't looking much like a football coach with that 1-4 record against Tennessee this year. Sweet. Now, they're also having a true freshman quarterback. We'll talk about that later. But I understand, like, we're not a big budget program. So whatever coach that wants to come here, let's say if we want a high-profile coach decided, you know what, I made all the money that I can make. I want to go somewhere that's not as high pressure as I've been. So let's just say at the end of the season, we have some of the biggest names and coaches interested in our program. Number one, I think Jim Harbaugh might get fired at Michigan after this year. Of course, Urban Meyer is available. I think Les Miles would definitely want back into the SEC. Nick Saban is not going anywhere. Let's see, what assistants? I can't think of any good assistants that we would want to hire. What about Joe Judge, our alum that coaches for the New England Patriots? What about now John James? I don't know if anybody's going to pay attention to this. John James, former Mississippi State all SEC guard, was in one of our groups that we're in, and he was speaking his mind about who should be coaching Mississippi State or why hasn't this happened. And one of his strong opinions was we need to hire a state alum to be the head coach and have all state alum staff to coach Mississippi State, because a state alum is going to have the pride that any of these big name coaches won't have. And he came on the Black Dog Sports Podcast last week, and if you haven't heard it, go check it out, Stubbs. And he just spoke his mind, and I'm definitely would like to have Mr. James on our show, so he can just express his feelings on his stories for Mississippi State and just what he thinks of the season so far. But would it be cool if we hired an alum to coach football at Mississippi State. Outside of Joe Judge, I can't think of any other high-profile Bulldogs, former Bulldogs, that are higher up on coaching circles. What about you?
I don't really think. I mean, alumni. I mean, it's in the coaching room. I can't really think of anybody. Well, it pops in my mind is Chad Bumpus, but he's working his way up. I mean, he's a wide receiver coach right now, so maybe one day. I mean, you could bring in Boobie Dixon if he's got his degree, so he could be the running backs coach one day, because he's always on the sidelines. Honestly, if we're based on Mississippi State's budget, if I'm going to get a coach, I'm probably going to look at the UAB coach. Was it Bill Clark? That would probably be who my number one pick would be. Something in MSU. It's just my personal opinion. It's just like everybody can jump on me for that. If you can go out and get somebody better, well, I don't know. But
well, let's look at this for instance. Let's say then we want to move on. Let's say if Joe Judge, accepted the position of head coach at Mississippi State, who could he hire? The dream staff of all former Bulldogs. Head coach, we have Joe Judge. Quarterbacks coach, who would you hire? What Bulldog alum would you hire to be the quarterbacks coach for Mississippi State?
I mean, personally, I'd take John Bond.
What about Sleepy?
Well, you could use Sleepy, but just my personal opinion.
John Bond. Okay. You would hire John Bond. I'd hire Sleepy Robinson. Okay. Running backs coach, who would you hire?
Mine's Boobie.
I'm gonna hire Boobie too. Boobie Dixon is one of the all-time great running backs at Mississippi State. Wide receiver coach, who are you hiring?
Thinking Chad Bumpus, what we talked about earlier.
If he's still, if he is coaching, Eric Mose, that's who I would hire. Tight ends coach, who would you hire?
I don't even know.
Eric Butler, he's my favorite Mississippi State tight end. That's who I'm hiring.
Yeah, there you go.
Offensive line, who are you hiring?
Honestly, I would be like Pork Chop, just because I like the name.
Pork Chop Womack? Yeah, I'm hiring John James. That's who I'm hiring. I mean, after talking to him and hearing his passion for Mississippi State football, that's who I'm hiring. All right, so we're on to defense now. Defensive line. Who you hiring?
Defensive line? If I could, I would. My people are still playing. I love Chris Jones, but
can't hire Chris Jones. Chris Jones still playing.
I don't know. Who's your guy for old school defense line?
Ed Smith played linebacker and some defensive linemen. So I will hire Ed Smith to coach the defensive line. Because
I was going to take Ed Smith to be my defensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, defensive coordinator / defensive line coach, Ed Smith. Well, we got to go back. Who's going to be the offensive coordinator? John Bond for you? Too?
Yeah, probably John Bond.
Sleeper for me too. All right. Linebacking coach.
Well, I would have had Ed at linebacker coach and defensive coordinator. So
who is going to be your defensive line coach?
I don't know. Let's keep Ed at defensive line.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm gonna go Mario Hagan.
Yeah, that's actually Mario Hagan and Ed Smith both played linebacker at Mississippi State. So let's see, linebacker. Who would I choose to coach linebacker? We've had a lot of good linebackers. I would probably choose Barron Simpson. I think he just got inducted into the Mississippi State Hall of Fame.